Welcome to my quick playthrough of The Binding of Isaac, Wrath of the Lamb. Unfortunately, I had uninstalled this game upon acquiring this DLC, which was due to an accident with my laptop, and lost all my game data with it. Most, if not all of this video is spoken. Instead of the usual, I put annotations on with the gameplay, like I did for all the other videos I've made so far. Mostly because there's a lot I want to discuss, but also because you've already seen me do this with all the other Binding of Isaac videos that I've made. Within the length of this video, I want to discuss what it adds, what it changes, and whether or not you should buy it. Annotations are still included within this video, mostly to aid newcomers, as compared to putting great lengths in researching the game through the amazing The Binding of Isaac Wiki, which I've linked to in the video description. Anything that isn't new content, I just fast-forwarded through. I'm also assuming you have general knowledge of the original game. If you don't, check out the earlier videos I made, or visit the Binding of Isaac Wiki. Wrath of the Lamb adds 5 new chapters, several new rooms, numerous bosses and enemies, and a little over 100 items, pickups, and collectibles. Unlike DLC in other games, this DLC is mixed into the game automatically, adding all this new content whether you like it to or not, indirectly adding to the roguelike experience. As such, impulse buying Binding of Isaac and this DLC is a very, very bad idea. The 5 new chapters are alternate versions of the original 5 chapters offered in the original package and are also much harder. As you transfer between floors, there's a chance you'll go into one of these alternate rooms instead, and vice versa. The cellar adds fast-moving spiders and slowing cobwebs to the normally easy basement, which can wreck beginners, and that's not even getting into the alternate bosses, an experience very much like encountering famine on the very first floor. The inclusion of trinkets, collectible items that drop like normal pickups, which you can only carry one at a time, other pickups, such as the golden key, which allows free access to anything a key would unlock just for that floor, and collectibles, like Technology 2, and we all know how much fun Technology 1 was. Does little to remedy this difficulty. It took me a few playthroughs to get good at this game, at which point I found it easy. With this DLC, that changes drastically, actually. This is not a DLC for first-time players. This is a DLC for people who've already played The Binding of Isaac a few times and want a new challenge. As for challenges, this game has numerous. Other than the additions already listed, curses are added to the game. Curses randomly appear when you enter a new floor and can either make the floor larger, combine the chapter's floors into one floor, or remove usage of the map entirely. Additional rooms are also added. There's a library, which drops 2 random book spacebar items, a sacrifice room, which requires you to run over a spike trap to spawn a treasure chest, sometimes requiring more health than you have, a cursed room, which allows entry at the cost of half a heart, or a full heart if you're in the womb, Sheol, or its alternatives, and another secret room accompanying the already existing one. The new secret rooms work in the opposite fashion as the original secret rooms. While the originals could found sandwiched between 3 or 4 adjacent rooms, the new secret room is only adjacent to 1 room, or 2 if it's a secret room. The treasure you find in the secret room is more valuable, such as the newly added Eternal Heart, a heart pickup which turns into a new heart container if you can clear the floor with it still intact, and in the order of health lost first from an attack, it goes Soul Heart, Eternal Heart, and then your normal hearts. But the rooms themselves are much harder to find. This makes use of bombs again, which rather than just spamming on bosses like you used to. Finally, a new menu option is added, appropriately named as challenges. Challenges are forced playthroughs as Isaac, accompanied with a specific item or two and denied access of others. The Isaac's Been Good Today challenge, for example, starts Isaac out with wings and a halo, which ups all his stats, but removes all treasure rooms, making you completely dependent on boss drops, secret rooms, blue rocks, beggars, and shops for collectibles. This challenge is only cleared if you can defeat Satan in Sheol, and the other challenges are thankfully not as difficult, except for the last one, and I wish you luck with that one. But there's still challenges all the same. So the question is this DLC worth my $3? The answer is a resounding maybe. This DLC adds another 75% of a game to the original game, which is a lot more than most DLC already do, even at a higher price. The addition of challenges and yet another ending, which will be the final one, hopefully, ramps up the replay value depending on whether or not delving into the dungeon to accomplish 100% completion or just making the game harder on yourself was considered fun to you. Wrath of the Lamb dramatically changes The Binding of Isaac in more ways than one, and has earned my recommendation. If you haven't played The Binding of Isaac yet, there's a demo of the game on Newgrounds, which I've included in the description. If you enjoyed it, pick up the full game. If you still like playing the game even after the first few completions, consider the DLC. Do not buy this DLC if you're unsure whether you like this game or not, or are a new player. This DLC does make the game harder, and as of yet, there is no way to change that. If you enjoyed The Binding of Isaac and don't mind sparing $3, this is a good buy. If you have a comment or a question, feel free to leave it down in the comments below or send me a personal message or whatever. If you have any questions about the game itself, you can feel free to check the Binding of Isaac wiki. They know more about the game than I do right now, and I'm just kind of playing around. Anyways, thank you for taking time to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and happy diving.